Hello people, welcome back to yet another video. It's been a while. Let's talk about Arsenal. So the first topic, obviously, uh, the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Not gonna talk about the game itself, as I usually don't. Just a couple of words, obviously. Now, first of all, amazing game. Brilliant to watch. I think, especially if you're neutral, it was a very good game. Maybe just a bit disappointed by Liverpool performance. They're not very good, to be fair. But anyway, that goal at the end of the first half made the game interesting. Fair play to Liverpool. They pressed. It wasn't a luck. It wasn't all this nonsense that usually they say it is. It's just a good press from them. Not very concentrated backline for Arsenal. So they got the equalizer. Overall, as I said, it's a huge game. It was a huge game. I think that for Arsenal was a bit more important to win than for Liverpool, because for Liverpool losing, as it stands right now, they most likely they will lose that first place to City when they play their game in hand. But they still will be, I think, 1 point behind City. So for Arsenal, it was very important. I do agree with what a lot of people out there are saying, that if Arsenal would lose that game, that would be basically over for the title challenging. I don't think it would be season over game, because we're still in the Champions League. I don't think we're gonna win it, but still we have to at least to try to get as far as we can. And with the Premier League, if we lose that game, I mean, we would still have to fight for top four as it stands right now. Even right now, we still have to fight for the top four, because other teams are winning as well. Villa, Spurs are there as well, obviously. So yeah, interesting game. Now here are the stats. You probably already saw that. I think it was quite the game. I think it was a very dominant performance by Arsenal. Um, Now the XG, I don't care about that too much. If you look at those numbers, you probably think that Arsenal could score like 10 goals. Liverpool, no chances at all. Not the situation there. But overall, yeah, I mean, I think we pressed them very much. I think that we did to them what usually they do to other teams. I think we were very solid at the back, which I always said that Arsenal backline is one of the most solid assets that we have right now. Again, attacking wise, not very convenient. Probably the only player that was phenomenal was Gabriel Martinelli, but I think when you see Martinelli versus Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know that. I mean, you know that it's a long night for Trent. When you play with that kind of football like Liverpool does, open football, there are a lot of spaces behind them, very high line of defense. Yeah, I mean, Martinelli will cook you. That's 100%. The problem always is when he makes that final pass into the box, who is there and who can take those chances. And again, we saw that for him it was basically just finish the chances yourself, otherwise we're not scoring goals. So yeah, overall, as I said, a very good performance, amazing 3 points, very important 3 points. So we need to make sure we don't f up the next 3-4 games like we did last time, because if we lose to West Ham next week, that's basically it. I mean, this win means nothing apart from just for your self-esteem, that yeah, we won against Liverpool and City. At the end of the day, if you don't at least try to push for the title, it means nothing, to be fair. But it is a fact. Yeah, it is a fact that we are playing very well against the big teams, especially at home. Against United, probably our weakest game. Even the Spurs one, I think that we were not good then as well, but Spurs were very good at that time of the year, right? I mean, they were flying, they were first in the league, I think, so at least you could say that we were playing one of the most informed teams. With United, they were so bad at the time, and yet they gave us a game. So the only thing that probably is I saw as a negative, it's not the goal itself, right? I mean, those things happen. I mean, you literally saw it at the other end of the pitch with Van Dijk and Alisson. I rate Van Dijk very high. But the problem is with Liverpool, for example, right? Those things happen, but they happen a couple of times a season. That's it. For us, it looks like at least once every single game you have those chances, and this is something they need to work on and they need to clear. Because as I said, forget about Real Madrid and Manchester City and Bayern Munich. You're not going past Porto if you do like that. You allow Porto one goal like that, they will close and you are not opening them. That team is very good. If you go and look how Porto plays, you're not going past them. So this is something they really need to work on. And even West Ham next week, if you allow one goal against West Ham like that, they will just close and that's it. You're not opening them. They're not going to play like Liverpool, right? They're not Liverpool, they're not Manchester City. They're not going to play this kind of football. So anyway, the next one is probably the one I wanted to talk the most, is again the criticism. Like, it's not even a criticism at this point. It's just, I don't know, it's like trying to insult, I guess, every single person on the planet that is somehow related to Arsenal with all this celebration nonsense. This is Arsenal playing Liverpool. It's one of the biggest games in England, right? It's one of the biggest derbies. I know it's not Arsenal Tottenham, right, or Liverpool Manchester United, but still it's a huge game, right? There is no bloody rivalry there, but it's still a rivalry. It's a big game, especially for us, that we got so many ass whoopings from Liverpool in the last 6-7 years. That for us it's a big game, right? It's mentally, it's very important. We win that game, we celebrate with our own fans, right? It's our stadium, it's our home ground. We're celebrating with our fans, and they don't like it because Mikel Arteta is running with the fans. What the hell is he supposed to do? I mean, especially with, like, Gary Neville doesn't surprise me at this point anymore. Whatever I could say about this guy I already said. I was a bit surprised by Rio Ferdinand. Again, not gonna talk much about the guy, but the one that surprised me the most is Jamie Carragher, and the reason is the guy works in America right now. Like, quite often I think they work for CBS, and they work in the States quite a lot. If you are in the States, right, go and watch, let's say, NHL game, any NHL game, especially if it's Carolina Hurricanes. And the reason is, in NHL, in ice hockey in general, but in NHL in particular, you have this, I don't know if it's a tradition or just like a rule, whatever. But when a game finishes, the losing team just storms out of the rink straight away. They just go. The winning team, especially if it's the home team, right? They greet the crowd, they celebrate, they greet the goalie because he got them the win, right? Then you have the announcement of the 3 stars, first star, second star, third star of the game. Then obviously they have the interview, right, with the first star of the game, first star of the game. Now, the reason I said Carolina Hurricanes is the last couple of years they had this tradition. They were celebrating differently every single game. Right? They were doing bowling celebrations. They were doing, for example, they had basketball on the ice, and they were doing dunks. Like, sports in general is about emotions, not just football, right? Sports is about emotions. Now, I understand if you're a Liverpool fan or any other fan, you could be annoyed, but this is because you're losing, right? Nobody likes losing. But sitting there, being a journalist that is being paid a lot of money to watch the games, to commentate on the games, and then say something like, I cannot watch it anymore, then quit. Don't do this job. I think that there are a lot of people who take this job like probably for the 10th of the money you are getting paid. It's just ridiculous. You cannot be sitting there saying just go down the tunnel. Sport is about emotions. Sport exists, and the reason those people are being paid the money they are being paid in general is because of the fans. And I remember before Mikel Arteta took over Arsenal, when Arsenal was very, very bad, right? The situation was very bad. It was very toxic there. We basically couldn't buy a win. Even under Emery, after that first spell of whatever it was, I think it was 13 games unbeaten. After that, things went south very quickly. Everybody was basically criticizing Arsenal that they lost the connection to the fans, right? That the mood on Emirates was down. It was very toxic. they were saying that there's no emotions in this team. This is exactly the phrase they were using, no emotions. When Mikel Arteta took over, he was talking about that himself. So he said that the first thing we need to change, right, is the mindset. We need to think as a team that wants to win every single game, and we need emotions. And that's very important. If you ever played game right, if you go into a game with a good mood, right, it helps. It really helps. The psychological thing of sports is very important. That's why you have the trash talking all over the place, especially in boxing and UFC, whatever. I really don't understand what's the problem there. Over celebrating, like, I didn't know that we can even measure celebrating. Like, do we have a celebration measurement thing, right? Like, this is the amount of celebration you're allowed to satisfy. And the other thing is, it's again the English pundits, right? English pundits, English journalists. I don't understand it. Like, what the hell is the problem with that? If you don't like it, as I said, just quit. Don't do it. Open a YouTube channel, like most of the people, and then you can talk whatever the hell you want. All right. I mean, I haven't seen stuff like that in Spain, in Italy, in Germany. No, like, just fans are celebrating, footballers are celebrating, and this connection between Arsenal and their fans, the team and their fans, is very important for the team. That's why you can see that Arsenal at home and Arsenal away are two different teams, right? Nobody wants to play Arsenal at home. Away, it's a bit easier. At home, the crowd keeps the team going forward. And you can see, as I said, it's the same with Liverpool. It's the same with Klopp. Klopp is one of the most emotional coaches out there. Yeah, when he beats you 5-0 like he did with us, it's not very pleasant to watch him celebrate. So what I did, for example, as an Arsenal fan, and every single time we got ass-whooped by Liverpool for the last 5 years, I would just turn off the TV, and that's it. That's my problem. They celebrate, okay, I'm pissed off, I just turn off the TV and that's it. I don't go online and hate on them. That's not their problem. It's our problem. Our team sucks, not theirs. So, and as I said, the last game, the game from Sunday, no problems with Liverpool, no problems with their fan. A lot of their fans have no problem with that as well. There's just a couple of guys that obviously were salty, obviously were bleeding after the game, but you have those guys in every single fan base. So yeah, really strange. I don't understand this celebration thing. It's not even a celebration police. It's a celebration SWAT at this point. Celebration special forces. Do not celebrate. Be machine. That's just ridiculous. Honestly, that's just so stupid that it at this point it even gets irritated, right? It even gets like so annoying that I don't know. I really don't know how to describe this anymore. So yeah, so let's not talk about this. If I'm an Arsenal player, just celebrate more. Just celebrate as much as you can into their faces. When they put that boot after the game on the pitch and they have their Sky Sports journalists there and they talk all this, and especially if Jamie Carragher is there and especially if Gary Neville is there, just go and celebrate right in front of them. So yeah, the last thing I want to talk about is how this result changes the EPL situation. So for me, basically it was like this. Liverpool was the first favorite to win the title, City second, Arsenal third. In terms of Arsenal, this score doesn't change anything for me, apart from keeping our chances, although they're very small, to win the league. We're still third favorite for me. The only change is probably that City now is the first favorite to win the title, so Liverpool are the second. But again, the gap is very small because City has to go to play Liverpool at Anfield, and that's not an easy ground for them. Yeah, so hopefully Arsenal can maintain. This form, build on that, and let's hope we can win it. Thank you, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. What do you think about those celebration special forces that are hunting Arsenal? Do you agree with my opinion? Do you think that you don't have to you can't celebrate that much? You have to be more cool-headed, or you think that it is sport is about emotions? That you're allowed to be as happy as they were. Thanks, and up to the next one.